Okay.
Do you want me to point one of these at the guitar, or is it just going to pick up? Fine.
The two will pick up both.
That's fine. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. In Australia we are bound, we're fettered in iron chains, to be transported to the penal colony on Queensland's desolate.
Yeah, that's working.
Great.
Okay. Let's go.
All right.
You are listening to KRFC 88.9 FM, Fort Collins, and it's time for Celtic Journeys. My name's Rob, with you for the next hour, and I have a special guest in the studio. I've got Wolf Lusher with me. Say, Wolf.
How are you doing? Great to see you again.
It's great to have you here, and you got a brand new project. You got a new album.
I do.
Out. Tell us a little bit about the album.
Well, it's sort of my master's thesis on Scottish folk music. I'm not Scottish myself, but I did live there for 3 years, and it had quite the impression on me. And so I thought it was time to do kind of a love letter to the culture and the music and the songs and the history that I really fell in love with as a 11, 12, 13-year-old kid when I was there, and have been doing ever since. And it also is a way of getting around, skirting the fact that, you know, not being from Scotland, but singing a lot of songs in dialect and using a lot of this very thick localization and kind of getting away with it.
Yeah. Well, sounds good. Do you want to start us off with some music?
I'd be delighted to. We're gonna start off with the lead-off track from the album, which is a song that has a Gaelic chorus, Hachin Poem, which is I wish to, or I want to, and it's about Bonnie Prince Charlie, or Charlie in this particular regard, Charles Stewart, the young pretender who, of course, fell to ignominy in the Battle of Culloden in 1745, but this is one of those songs of Scottish pride. Oh, by the way, a pibroch is the classical music of the bagpipe, so that's what this mentions. Sound the pibroch loud on high, fade John a gross to the eye, oh sky, let every clan their slogan cry, rise and follow cheerily, a chain foe and poem poem, a chain foe and poem and poem, a chain foe and foe and foe, rise and follow cheerily. See that small devoted band by dark Loch Shield, they've made their stand and bravely vowed with heart and hand, rise and follow cheerily, a chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foe, rise and follow cheerily. Bay every hill and every glen are gathering fast the loyal men. They grasp their dirks and shout again, hurrah for royal cheerily, a chain foe and foe and foe, a chain foe and foe and foe, a chain foe and foe and foe, rise and follow cheerily on dark Culloden's field of war. Hark, they shout, Claymore, Claymore, they bravely fight, but can they more and die for royal cheerily, a chain foe and foe and foe, a chain foe and foe and foe, a chain foe and foe and foe, rise and follow cheerily. Now on the barren heath they lie, their funeral dirge, the eagles cry, and mountain breezes o'er them sigh, who have fought and died for Chile. No more we'll see such deeds again. Deserted is each highland glen, and lonely cairns lie on the main, who have fought and died for Chile. Chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foe. Rise and follow Chile, a chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foam, a chain foe and foe and foam. Rise and follow Chile. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Sounds good.
All right.
So yeah, Bonnie Prince Charlie was he must have been something to make everybody do all these heroic things for him when he was really such a flop in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a drunken Italian, as Mr. Brian McNeil refers to him.
Yeah.
But it's a different time, when royalty was a thing, the divine right of kings was a thing. This is before a man's a man.
Yeah.
For all that,
Yeah.
that was a radical idea at the time from Robert Burns. And so it's interesting that when I was younger, when 11, 12, 13, royalty had and the history behind that had a great allure to me, believing in something greater than yourself. Nowadays, not so much.
Yeah. So I wanted to get you to comment a minute on the songwriters you're exploring on the album.
Absolutely. That first one there is a more traditional one.
Yeah.
But Agnes Maxwell MacLeod wrote that. I think that was, I can't recall the exact time, I need to look up my notes, but I think that might have been in the Victorian time when Scotland became, trendy. It was all the trend. That's when we got the modern kilts and things like that. So that hearkening back to this simpler time when Scotland was heroic and romantic and all that stuff. In fact, there's a picture of Sir Walter Scott on the inside of the album, right there. That's the statue I took a picture of right there in Edinburgh. But the other people so a lot of these are traditional, which nice thing is, it's I don't have to pay royalties on that. But also trying to promote the fact that these are traditional songs. Ideally, but I also wanted to mix in both modern as well as tradition. So we've got some Brian McNeil songs on there, a couple of them. Brian McNeil, the founder and leader of the Battlefield Band for many years, wonderful singer-songwriter, fiddler, accordion, author, raconteur, and I am fortunate enough to have played his songs and have him play on one of my songs even in the past.
Yeah,
so.
He's got quite a presence.
Absolutely.
Really, he's a fun person to see.
He's basically who I want to be when I grow up. So but also let's see, the other one is Lord Byron's on here. He wrote one of these, so that was interesting. And then a more modern one by Ivan Drever of the band Wolfstone.
Yes.
This is that's Children of Alba, which is a song that I got introduced to by some friends of mine when I first started playing this music or thinking about playing folk music. And it took me 35 years to actually get around to recording it and figuring out how can I present it in a way that's, me, I guess, So, and that's how I ended up getting the title for the album as well. The song is called Children of Alba. The album is called Child of Alba because it was such an impact on me when I was such a young person living over there. So.
Yeah. All right. You want to give us another piece?
Sure. Well, we've just been talking about it, so why don't we do Children of Alba by Ivan Drever. The other thing I tried to do with this album, by the way, is past albums I've done, solo albums, have been very produced, a lot of layers and percussion and drums and band, kind of a band sound. And this one I tried to get sounding a bit more like what I do sound as a solo act.
Yeah.
So that was my effort, and I was very well helped by my good friend Scooter Muse, who did all the engineering, and wonderful guitar player, among other things,
Yes.
and banjo player. But I felt I'd been hiding behind his skirts long enough, so I did all the guitar work myself on this one. So this is Children of Alba. Aim for the wars, aim in the soldier, aim for the trenches, the killing and the shame. Now the old warrior, he looks back in anger at the suffering, the dying, the bullets and the flames. Aim to old Alba, aim in the traveler, aim to her bosom that never grows cold. The soldier, the tinker, the old music maker, the children of Alba that never grow old. Aim for his sojourn, the tinker is weary, tired of tramping the highways and all. Crossing the border, can he gain any further? Aim to old Alba, where he'll slip a wall. Aim to old Alba, hail the traveler, aim to her bosom that never grows cold. The soldier, the tinker, the old music maker, the children of Alba that never grow old. Aim for his travels, the man his music, the laughter that hides all the loneliness there. His songs and his ballads, his tunes and his stories are all locked away to be danced to name it. Aim to old Alba, aim in the traveler, aim to her bosom that never grows cold. The soldier, the tinker, the old music maker, the children of Alba that never grow old. Aim to old Alba, aim in the traveler, aim to her bosom that never grows cold. The soldier, the tinker, the old music maker, the children of Alba that never grow old. The children of Alba that never grow old.
Very good, thanks. So if you were on your way up and got hit by a bus,
Yeah.
that was a song I was going to play off the album.
Oh, well, great. Well, I'm so glad that
Yeah.
it was, as I said, it's been 35 years since I was introduced to that song. And when you're a younger person, singing about bosoms is a little hard to do, you know, so you have to get some gravitas before you can actually do that.
Yeah.
So, so I'm glad you liked that one.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah,
But
so
you kind of talked about this being a good maybe audition CD to send people to get you into Scottish games.
Absolutely. You know, I was saying to my wife, you know, Scooter sent me the final mixes, and we're sort of listening to them, and he did such a wonderful job. And I have so many other wonderful musicians on the album. Yeah. Alex Stewart playing pipes and whistles and flutes, and Beth Patterson on bass, and Kendall Rogers on piano and accordion, Jeremy Greenhouse and Gordon MacLeod on fiddle, and then Abby Palmer, a very special guest on harp on one of them. Anyway, but we're listening to this, and I looked over at her, and I was feeling very good about how it turned out. I said, if I don't get a call from every darn Scottish festival in this country, there's something wrong with this system, you know. Yeah. So, but I do feel really good about it, and hopefully it will lead to some more appearances. And I really enjoy going to those festivals because it's an opportunity to go out and sing these songs and tell these stories and connect with people who are as passionate about the history and the culture as I am. And another great opportunity you mentioned kind of in the lobby was I love playing house concerts because that's a chance where even if there's only a couple of people, I get to connect and tell these stories, which are really important. I think I've done my time of playing in bars and pubs where TVs are on every wall, and and you're competing against that because the stuff that I'm doing doesn't really blend with that, and so it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, well, and as well, like I've found that both the musicians and the audiences at festivals and stuff like that are pretty darn fun people, like pretty good folks.
Absolutely.
There's not bristling with ego and some diva stuff. It's just here I like the music, maybe you do too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's a really good spot for me to fit into. So
and it's that finding your tribe kind of thing. Yes. And I think I've kind of been able to do that over the years. You know, I started out as a rock and roll drummer, and just kind of decided that I didn't want to carry all my gear all the time and not have any people pay attention. But I had this passion for Scottish music and history and culture. And I was in Austin, Texas at the time, where I so happened that Ed Miller, who's one of the best at doing this, was right there. And I kind of just happenstanced. I was playing in a bagpipe band, and I think we did a gig with him. And it's like, wait a minute. This stuff that I loved as a kid, people actually might want to hear that, and there's a market for it. It's like, so then I started thinking about that, and I started my first folky band, and here I am many years later, and hopefully better at it than I was back then, and still hoping to share this music with other people.
Speaking of which, one of my first interviews on this station was with Ed Miller, captured on a kind of a noisy iPhone up at the Southwest in Estes Park. So, so you'd have one more for us?
I certainly do. Let's see. Well, you mentioned being a fan of Mr. Brian McNeil, and I've got two Brian McNeil songs. Do you have a preference on which one? We've got the Yew Tree, which is historical about the famous yew tree that he wrote, and then No Gods, which is sort of his answer to the whole Jacobite mythos that sucked in people like myself. You know, it's like, oh, this is fascinating, Bonnie Prince Charlie and all this stuff. Yeah. And so, so which one would you prefer?
Well, I kind of like No Gods. So.
All right, well, let's do that one. And maybe for... and this is actually the title track to one of his albums. And some maybe less known words in here. Going down the brew, going down the bureau, the unemployment bureau, with a claymore in your hand. And so that's one of the interesting lines in there. And so this is No Gods by Mr. Brian McNeil. The other day, heard a fat politician who had the nerve to say he was proud to be Scottish, by the way, the glories of our past to remember. Here's Deus was like us, listen to the cry, no surrender to the truth. Here's a reason why the power and the glory is just another bloody lie. They use to keep us all in line. For there's no gods and there's precious few heroes, but there's plenty on the dole in the land of the Leo. But it's time now to sweep the future clear, oh, the lies of our past that we know was never real. So farewell to the heather and the glen. They cleared us off once and they'll do it all again. For they still prefer sheep to thinking men. Ah, but men who think like sheep are even better. There's nothing much to choose between the old laird and the new. They still don't give a damn for the likes of me and you. Just mind you pay your rent to the factor when it's due, and mind your bloody manners when you pay. For there's no gods and there's precious few heroes, but there's plenty on the dole in the land of the Leo. But it's time now to sweep the future clear, oh, the lies of our past that we know was never real. And tell me, will we never hear the end of poor bloody Charlie and Culloden yet again? Though he ran like a rabbit down the glen, leaving better folk than him to be butchered. Or are you sitting in your council house, dreaming of your clan, waiting for the Jacobites to come and free the land? Try going down the brow with the claymore in your hand, count all the princes in the queue. For there's no gods and there's precious few heroes, there's plenty on the dole in the land of the Leo. But it's time now to keep the future clear, oh, the lies of our past that we know was never real. So don't talk to me of Scotland the brave. If we don't fight soon, there'll be nothing left to save. Or would you rather stand and watch them dig your grave while you wait for the Tartan Messiah? He'll lead us to the promised land with laughter in his eye. We'll all live on the oil and the whiskey by and by. Free heavy beer, pie suppers in the sky. But we never have the sense to learn. For there's no gods and there's precious few heroes, but there's plenty on the dole in the land of the Leo. But it's time now to sweep the future clear, oh, the lies of our past that we know was never real. For there's no gods and there's precious few heroes, there's plenty on the dole in the land of the Leo. And I'm damn sure there's plenty living here, oh, the day we stand together with our shoulders to the wheel. Aye, there's no gods.
Good stuff.
All right,
Good
thank
stuff.
you.
I knew I would like the album when I saw the Brian McNeil song.
Well, there you go. You know, you got to be in good company. So.
All right. Wolf Lusher, his new album is called Child of Alba, and available worldwide at major retailers.
Yeah. Bandcamp is our preferred thing. wololoco.bandcamp.com. And because they have a great thing every first Friday of the month, they give all the proceeds, but it's a more musical centric. There's also, Apple Music and Amazon Music, and if you must, you can find it on Spotify. But just remember, nobody on Spotify, none of the musicians actually make any money. So, if you're enjoying it, step up to the plate and support musicians, support live music especially, because it's a dying breed right now.
Definitely, amen. All right, well, thanks so much, Rolf.
Thank you so much for having me back again. Great to see you.
All right, got to catch up with some business now.
Support is provided by the
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, that was great. I have fun doing this. It's just good to banter. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and over the years, I've gotten better at it, so more relaxed.
yeah, same actually. 'Cause it's the first time you do it, it's a little bit